Hello, I'm Bob the Booker, and the time is upon us. We've just had the announcement of the Booker Longlist for 2022. I was just on a little stream with Kieran and Sarah from Freshly Read Books. Quite an interesting longlist. I'll sort of share more thoughts as we go, and sort of longer, I've had a bit of time to read more of these. But I was wildly wrong. I think I maybe guessed 3 right, maybe 4. Yeah, 4, I think. But there's some really interesting surprises on this. What an interesting list. And I think this is always the fun thing with prizes, right? Because particularly something as big as the Booker, there's always all this sort of speculation about what might be on it, what might not be. And most of the time you're wrong. It's a sport where you basically just are constantly wrong. But I'm just really intrigued by it because a few here that I'm super excited to see. So particularly Audrey Magee's The Colony, which I loved. I'll do a separate review on that as well. Trust by Hernan Diaz, which is really exciting to see on this list. A book that I really loved. The same for Claire Keegan's Small Things Like These, which I just had such a great time with. And Maps of Our Spectacular Bodies by Maddie Mortimer. I'll put a link to the full list sort of below here, but those are the ones that I've read. And all of the ones that I've read have been ones that I actually really greatly enjoyed. I think all 5-star reads from the ones I've read here actually, so that's positive. And also really exciting to see After Sappho by Selby Schwartz by Galley Beggar Press, who are a small indie press. They published Duck's New Report, which made the shortlist in 2019. I've got a sort of slightly different cover to the sort of typical one, and this is not meant to be a sort of show-off thing. It's just that I subscribe to them, so I just get their books in advance. And so I've got this, and I'm really excited about this. This is a book that is sort of in some ways a bit, not meta, but kind of plays around a bit with form. It, in some ways, almost, from what I've heard, reads a bit as a sort of non-fiction as well as fiction kind of piece. But it looks a lot at women from specific periods of time who were who we'd probably now identify as sort of either lesbians or bisexual, who and sort of how their lives intersected and how their lives interacted with the world around them, and sexuality and gender rules. But also just really exciting to see a few others on this list. Glory by NoViolet Bulawayo, which is coming from the library soon. I kind of preemptively requested it from the library thinking it might have a good shot, and here we go. But really exciting and interesting to see other ones on there. So Treacle Walker by Alan Garner, an author I have to admit I know basically nothing about, even though apparently he's sort of been writing for quite a long time. He's sort of in his late 80s as well, so probably one of the oldest long-listed authors, I would imagine. But also some other real curveballs that I did not expect. So Oh William by Elizabeth Strout. I've not read any of that set of books, so I have no concept whether that's sort of something something that I'd like or not, but exciting nonetheless. But also just some other ones in there. We've got a couple of previously listed people. So Karen Joy Fowler with Booth, and we've got Graeme Macrae Burnet with Case Study. Both have been shortlisted before. And a couple of other ones that I've not heard of as well. So The 7 Moons of Maali Almeida, which I've absolutely never heard of, and I'm not even sure if it's out yet. On the end of the stream, Kieran and I were talking about, and Sarah and I were talking about the sort of split of these authors as well. And it looks like we've got 6 American authors, a few Brits in there, and then you've got a few other, you've got Claire Keegan from Ireland, you've got NoViolet Bulawayo from Zimbabwe. So I need to sort of dig into this a little bit more, particularly in terms of looking at some of the gender split as well. From what I can see, at least judging by the names, I think we have 6, 7, 8 women potentially. But yeah, interesting. Really keen to hear your thoughts. I need to go away and digest this a bit more and really go into this. I'm going to be doing separate reviews for all 13 books. And I think I've read 4 or 5 already. 4, 5, 4. Yeah, something like that. In addition, it's worth noting which books are not here that we maybe would have expected, because there are a few expected ones on here, particularly ones like The Colony, which has been picking up quite a lot of sort of steam over the last few months. I'm quite surprised in some ways to see a book like Young Mungo not make it. I kind of get it, but at the same time, it's sort of surprising to not have it there. I would have personally loved as well to see a book like There Are More Things by Yara Rodriguez Fowler make it. But, you know, you can't always have what you want. I think part of the excitement here is that so many of these books are maybe more unexpected. And so let's see what this looks like. We're officially in the season. We've got a little bit to go, probably about 6 weeks or so, I think, until the shortlist announcement. And in that time, let's get reading. I've been Bob. Take care and speak to you all soon. Bye-bye.